What's in store for March?
Monday on Good Day.
Now, live, this is breaking news from 8 News Now.
Right now, Metro Police are investigating after a 4-year-old child was hit by a car at Sunset Park. That's where we begin. I'm Demetria Obalor. We're told the child was rushed to the hospital in critical condition. Brittany Edney just arrived to the scene and has the latest. Brittany, what can you tell us?
Well, Demetria, what we know so far is that a 4-year-old little girl was hit by a black Acura SUV that's over here behind me, the one that has the party balloons attached to it. Metro investigators tell us that this happened around 1:50 this afternoon here at Sunset Park. We're told that the child got out of her family's car, and when she was crossing the parking lot, she was hit by the SUV, and that Metro says that the driver of the SUV was just basically looking for a parking spot, didn't see the little girl and hit her. She was taken to UMC Trauma, where she is right now, as far as we know, in critical condition. I'm also told that the victim's family got into some kind of fight or altercation with the driver, but Metro does also tell us that speed doesn't appear to be a factor, and it doesn't look like the driver will face any type of criminal charges. Back here live, we're also told that the two families did not know each other, that they were both heading to the park today to enjoy two separate events when what appears to be a horrible accident happened. Metro investigators are still here on scene. I can tell you that right now they're speaking with some other witnesses, some other drivers who were here in the parking lot. We'll continue to keep you updated on this story later on in the newscast and at 6 on 8 News Now. For now, reporting live, Brittany Edney, 8 News Now.
Thank you so much, Brittany. We'll touch base with you later. Well, a massive fire has now been put out in the central part of the valley. The fire broke out along Karen and Eastern just before 4 o'clock and shortly before showtime. Firefighters were able to knock down the blaze. At one point, we're told crews had to be called from the building because the roof started to collapse. We're told no one, fortunately, was inside the building. Well, roadways are back open in the Northwest following an intense barricade situation earlier today. We're told it started here, right along the 29,000 block of Rainbow near Cheyenne at the La Ventana apartment homes. Police tell us a woman's boyfriend threatened to harm her 10-month-old baby if she did not come home. Metro says he was watching the infant while she was at work. Once she alerted police, he then threatened to harm the child more. SWAT was able to save the baby and later arrested the man. Friends and family of a 17-year-old gunned down at a Valley basketball court came together to remember the teen today in a very special way. 8 News Now, Mauricio Marin is live in the newsroom to explain how they're working to make sure his memory lives on. Mauricio?
Good afternoon. Loved ones of Tyrese Coleman Jr. met up today to walk in the teen's memory. He was also known as June, and the family is still working through their loss, but say they're so grateful to have so many people supporting them during this very difficult time. The memorial walk today at the Pearson Center near Cary and MLK Boulevard was also a fundraiser to help pay for funeral expenses. Folks donated cash for every lap completed. Friends say Coleman went to Shadow Ridge High School, where he played varsity lineman for the Mustangs. They described him as an outgoing, funny, love kind of guy about to turn 18 next month. Family says Coleman wasn't in a gang, but there may have been people around him that may have been involved in ones which may have played a factor in the deadly shooting. They urge other teens to live a positive lifestyle.
Just stay positive, stay in the education system, go to school, and just be careful who you're around, you know, because we've been having funerals every 2 or 3 months, and a lot of time you're just guilty by affiliation. And just use wisdom and just stay in school, stay positive.
Coleman was shot and killed after a fight broke out at a basketball court in West Las Vegas last week, and police say 3 suspects ran from the scene after the shooting. The person who pulled the trigger may have been a juvenile as well. At this time, no suspect has been identified. Metro Police do urge people with information about this case to give them a call to track down the killer. Reporting live in the newsroom, Mauricio Marin, 8 News Now.
Mauricio, what if people couldn't make it out today? Is there a way they can still donate?
Well, actually, the family has set up a GoFundMe account to help pay for the funeral expenses. We have a link on our website, LasVegasNow.com. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Mauricio. Well, Metro's Southeast Area Command is hosting an event in an effort to bridge the gap between police and the residents they serve.
There's a lot of people in the community that maybe feel helpless and feel that they can't
do anything to affect crime and violence in the future. And we're here to show them that there's so many volunteers here today because we want to prevent that future violence and educate people and make them aware of a lot of the services that they have.
It's an event we're told that they'll hold every month with other community groups. Children were able to play and interact with the officers and even sit on some of the Metro's patrol motorcycles. Those are cool. They're Harleys. There were also health and financial services along with employment agencies on hand for the adults. All right. I am really excited about these temperatures, Katie. You know what? We were getting a little bit too close to that summer weather, but now we're back in winter. I love it.
Okay, well then do me a favor here for just 1 second. I want you to close your ears when we get to the main weather forecast, because I'm tracking a little bit of a warm-up here, so plug the ears. In the meantime, at least a couple more days of Demetria weather, if you will. Temperatures in the 50s here moving forward as we kickstart the early part of our work week. A live look outside right now, and you can see dry for the bulk of us, but some areas are looking at just a little bit of a sprinkle out there. We have seen those overcast skies here for the last couple of hours, and boy, you know, it's been the last 1, 2, maybe 3 weekends that we've had those showers, some wet weekends. Now we're catching generally a little bit of a break from that. Right now, our current conditions at about 52 degrees right now, that humidity at 42% with those winds on the calmer side. It will turn a little bit breezy here in the next day or so. We're watching that, but otherwise looks like generally drier conditions. And I say generally because guess what? Most of what we are seeing on the radar is falling as Virgo, which means it's evaporating before it even reaches the ground. So yes, there is moisture out there, but generally most of this is very light, and it's also just off towards the southwest of us. Of course, we'll be watching the latest on that. For tonight, though, temperatures dropping down into the 40s. We will talk more, though, about those temperatures. Demetria, plug ears, 70s here. When that comes around, coming up here in just a couple minutes.
Thanks, Katie. All right, I gotta get to work. Okay. All right, I have to unplug it for a moment. Well, dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodge were the rules of the game today at a local dodgeball tournament. The after-school All-Stars of Las Vegas hosted the event at the Bill and Lily Heinrich YMCA this morning. Proceeds from the tournament help support free comprehensive programs for elementary and middle school students at 15 at-risk Clark County schools.
We keep children safe and successful in school and in life, but we do it in a way that's super fun. And so we said if we're going to be raising funds and having, you know, an event to raise funds, it should be fun too. So this event is fun for adults.
Awesome. 45 teams competed, including our very own 8 News Now, calling themselves the Gladi-8ers. Even though our team didn't do as well as planned, our station played their best. I hear Brian Loftus got out in the first round. Woo-hoo! I'm going to give him a hard time about that on Monday. Well, coming up on the Valley's News Leader, the Democratic National Committee has picked a new leader, Tom Perez. What they expect the former cabinet member of President Obama to do, coming up in the Valley's News Leader.
Traffic Now is sponsored by Ed Bernstein and Associates. Enough said, call Ed.
Now, live, this is 8 News Now, Weekend Edition.
Welcome back. Thanks for joining us. The Democratic National Committee has a new national chairman. A former Obama cabinet member will be tasked with turning around the party that suffered devastating losses this past election. CBS News correspondent Wendy Gillette has the latest.
A great American, Mr. Tom Perez.
Members of the Democratic National Committee picked a new national chairman Saturday, who they hope will turn opposition against President Trump into election victories. It took hundreds of state party leaders and activists 2 rounds of voting to pick Tom Perez as chair. Perez served as labor secretary under President Obama.
I know we can win the battles ahead. I know we will win the battles ahead when we put our values forward, when we lead together.
President Trump had lunch with Florida Governor Rick Scott and Wisconsin Governor Scott Walker at the White House following his speech Friday to the Conservative Political Action Conference.
A few days ago, I called the fake news the enemy of the people, and they are. They are the enemy of the people.
The White House later blocked several news outlets from attending an off-camera press briefing. New York Congresswoman Carolyn Maloney says the exclusions outraged her. She spoke outside the New York Times building Saturday.
We find it alarming and that it violates the First Amendment, which protects press freedoms.
The president focused on Black History Month in his weekly address, saying he'll bring jobs back to the African-American community.
This week I met with manufacturing CEOs. We're going to be working to bring back those jobs, and I mean really good paying jobs.
The president says he'll speak more about the issue when he addresses Congress Tuesday night. Wendy Gillette for CBS News, New York.
The president tweeted Saturday about the lower national debt since he took office and a streak of record highs on Wall Street. This evening, he sent out a tweet that says he will not attend this year's White House Correspondents' Dinner. Now, switching gears, climbing more than 1,400 stairs may sound like torture to some, but hundreds of people will do just that, all for a good cause, of course. Still ahead on the Valley's News Leader, how friends of one man struggling to breathe are supporting their friend who's battling lung disease.
This year, Chevy's received more.
Golightly and Associates, 222-3333.
Now, live, this is breaking news from 8 News Now.
We're still following breaking news over at Sunset Park after a 4-year-old was hit by an SUV. Reporter Brittany Edney has more on the story.
Well, Demetria, two families who appear to have come out to the Sunset Park today to enjoy two separate events. Their lives have been forever changed after a 4-year-old girl was hit by this black Acura SUV that's behind me, the one that has the birthday balloons attached to it. Investigators tell us that this happened at around 1:50 this afternoon. We're told that basically the child got out of her family's car and was running across the parking lot when the black SUV, which was looking for a parking spot, hit the girl. Investigators say that she was taken to UMC Trauma, where she is in critical condition. We're also told that the victim's family got into some kind of fight or altercation with the driver's family. Metro tells us that at this point, speed doesn't appear to be a factor, and also that right now it basically looks like an accident. They don't anticipate any charges being brought against the driver at this time. We'll continue to keep you updated on this story, but for now, reporting live, Brittany Edney, 8 News Now.
Thanks, Brittany. Switching gears now, more than 700 people are expected to scale the Strat tomorrow to help raise money for the American Lung Association. Our very own 8 News Now anchor Paul Johnsich had the pleasure of meeting with a fellow climber who, up until October, walked 5 miles a day. He now fights a daily battle to breathe.
75-year-old Clem Wachecki was diagnosed with pulmonary fibrosis in 2011.
Well, it's a situation where it's very difficult to inhale.
His disease, one of several lung conditions for which there is no cure, has worsened to where he now requires oxygen every minute of the day.
I can't do anything without dragging this hose around with me.
Clem knows he may not have much time left, so he's making the most of it by raising awareness about a rarely talked about disease that kills as many people as breast cancer.
There's a disease out there that's killing people. There's no known cause. There's no known cure. And it has to do with destroying your lungs. It creeps up on you, and the next thing you know, you got a problem.
This weekend, several of his friends and family members will join hundreds of others climbing all 108 flights of the Stratosphere Tower to raise money for the American Lung Association. And Clem's not ashamed of the fact he was the last one to finish last year.
Climbing it wasn't a big deal because I'm usually in pretty good shape. The problem is I just can't breathe. So every landing at the Stratosphere, I had to stop, catch my breath. So it took me, I think, what, an hour and 51 minutes or something like that to climb that sucker. But I did it, and we got the job done.
Clem's wife, Debbie, put this Facebook page together promoting her husband's cause. Clem's team will be one of many scaling the Strat, not just for fun, but to help save lives, one step at a time.
There you go. Clem is not able to climb this year, but about 10% of those who will scale the Strat are battling some kind of lung condition. For others, making it up all 108 flights is a celebration of health and a chance to raise money and awareness for the American Lung Association and the services they provide.
How many flights was that?
Oh, man, hundreds. Man, it's crazy. What? The Stratosphere is amazing. I've eaten at the restaurant. I've been on the big shot on top, nearly cried because the wind was blowing. It's so
You know, I cry when I run up the 6 flights of stairs to get up to the rooftop here. And so, so kudos to all those people out there that will be doing that here tomorrow.
Awesome. And Paul's always behind the cause on that one. So props to him. Jonathan Sosowski, one of our assignment editors.
A couple of us here are doing that.
Channelators. Are you doing it too?
You know, I forgot to sign up. I was going to.
Next year, there's always next year for you too.
Yep. All right, talking about weather here. Some nice conditions for a little something for everyone, Demetria. We got the cooler temperatures. temperatures for you here the next couple of days, and then we start to warm things back up, cranking it up a notch here as we headed towards the latter half of this upcoming week. First, though, let's take you outside. A live look in towards the Las Vegas Strip here. Nice day, though we are talking about those temperatures a little bit cooler here today and tomorrow with some overcast skies here as we headed towards the early half of our weekend. Mostly dry conditions, though, here, and as we're looking forward, probably most of this week is going to be on the drier side here as well. Look at current conditions. You can see 50s, low 50s for Las Vegas, for the Henderson area, as well as North Las Vegas. Those winds coming in between 5 and 9 miles an hour. Kind of depends on your location, though. A little bit more of a southerly wind here around Las Vegas, coming from the north in around the Henderson region. Today, only hit that high of 53 degrees. So normal is 65. We really missed the mark here. You can see by quite a bit, and probably going to be trending that way, just a little bit below average, likely for the next 2 to 3, possibly 4 days before another warm-up here is on the way. One thing we will, though, continue to see is our drier conditions. Here's a look at satellite radar, and you can see there's a little bit of activity just off towards the southwest corner of our area, right around the California-Nevada state line. Want to note, though, most of this is falling as Virgo. I was telling this to our producer earlier. She was like, a what? Virgo. So it's evaporating before it reaches the ground layer. There is definitely that moisture out there. It is associated with this system, but it's all evaporating before it reaches the ground. That means for you, if you have outdoor plans, you're probably not going to have to dodge much in terms of sprinkles. You can see some of that southwesterly flow channeling right in through the southern part of our area. This has contributed to a few extra clouds out there today, but generally we're going to notice an increase in this building ridge of high pressure. That'll keep us dry here moving forward, and I think here the next couple of days it'll be followed by also some warmer temperatures. And warmer temperatures, I'm looking at upper 60s, possibly some 70s here ahead too. So drier note, I think, for the next few days, at least to the early part of the work week. But here's how the 7-day forecast shapes up. You can see upper 50s through Tuesday, then low 60s Wednesday, upper 60s, Demetria, plug your ears, low 70s here for Friday and Saturday. But again, cranking it up a notch here, so going below average to above average just in the span of the next 7 days.
Well, you know what? One of our most loyal viewers, Melody, is looking forward to the 70s, so we'll give her that. All right, the two biggest questions of the Academy Awards are who will win and, of course, who are you wearing? Months of planning goes into picking out the right look for the ultimate close-up on the red carpet. Chris Martinez shows us how the stars are getting ready.
It's crunch time. Entertainment Tonight's Nancy O'Dell knows what it takes to pull off a perfect red carpet look.
Because I do think this is the opportunity to wear a necklace.
From David Webb Jewels.
Morning, they have to give the jewels back.
But even the rarest gems can't compare with Oscar Gold. Chris Martinez, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Beautiful stuff there. Well, emergency repairs may no longer cost you an arm and a leg thanks to a new app. Coming up, we explain how it works and where to find the service. That's all up on the Valley's News Leader.
Cracked lips. Thanks to O'Keeffe's, I got my lips back.
Welcome back. Can't reach that burnt out light bulb or you're tired of that leaky faucet? Well, a new app could help. It's called Homey and is being billed as the Uber of home repairs. The rates are based on stats from the Labor Department and location. We're told a repairman will be at your house within 30 minutes and the average customer will pay no more than $80. If they're not satisfied with the work, they get a $1,000 satisfaction guarantee and sent another worker. Wow.
Oh, so, okay, so that's not a bad price, because half the time I'm like, oh, I cannot do that by myself.
That's exciting. I'll have to...
Hey.